Okay, here's some notes of a video from last year. It's from January. But this is the tall grass prairie, and here's some notes that we wrote, or the class wrote from last year. So mostly about this page that's important is the rain amounts determine if a prairie is short, mixed, or tall. And there's some highlighted notes. Roots can grow even to greater depths, up to 9 feet. Okay, and watch the rest of the video, and I'll just narrate it as we go. A little faster. Okay, there we go. And then we move on. The western states have mixed grass prairies, and that has to do with less rainfall. And there's an important note here about a rain shadow, so that affects the height of the grasses. Here's something about the importance of fires. Fires keep the prairie from turning into a forest. That was a great note. Okay, it says here, if it were not for fires, trees and shrubs would continue to grow and the prairie would turn into a forest. This has a extra highlighting about managers of prairies especially or set fires on purpose to control the growth of plants in the prairie. And one other thing that was important on this page was grasses, when they're competing with forests, win when there's a fire because they have such deep roots that they will come back. And shrubs and trees don't have roots as deep and will not grow back. Let's move on to the next one. There we go. Okay. Oh, this has to do with the 1800s when settlers first came. At first, Native Americans set fires on purpose, and that was to help them hunt bison, so they could help push bison into an area where it's easier to hunt. And it also explained that fires happen naturally from lightning strikes. And when European settlers first came here, they put the prairie fires out, not understanding that the prairie fires actually controlled the growth of forests. Oh, let me go back to this. This was important. Ooh, that's really good about prairie. There we go. Highlighted this about over-hunting of the bison. European settlers also came and over-hunted and killed the bison. It says here by 1890, only 500 bison remained. Okay, here we go. This was that. All the notes that connect with our science books about producers and consumers. Producers are plants, and the primary consumers are the animals that eat plants, so that will be the herbivores. And then the secondary consumers are usually the carnivores that eat the primary consumers. So producers are grasses, and there's herbivores, and then the carnivores are the secondary consumers. Okay, here's something that's important. It's about prairie potholes, which you might call a pond. They're wetlands, and they're important for breeding populations of ducks and certain types of birds. Oh, here's something important about decomposers, like bacteria and fungi. This is important for...
You're in the dark!
Keeping the organic material in the soil. Oh, he took it home. That was so cool. Okay, and what? I'm making a video study guide for Prairies Alive. Thank you. All right.
I'm going to go get Emmy. Get the boys. It's actually nice.
Oh, good.
Bye.
Bye. These. Oh, big bluestem.
Oh, I got to work on that stuff tonight, so I really want you to do tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Big bluestem has really deep roots. It can go up to 8 feet. So here's a bunch of things about prairies and plants. Don't spend a ton of time on that. You can use your book, so don't spend a bunch of time on that. These are different types of animals. I think snakes are interesting. Most kids do. I didn't know this, though, that a brownish, the bull snake can grow 8 feet long. That's a big snake. Okay, so there's a grouse. That's one of the words that someone said in the glossary that did not look familiar. Oh, here we go. Okay, prairie dogs. Oh, this is important. It's cute. They're prairie dogs that bark like dogs. They live in groups called towns. They dig underground burrows which run on... Oh, and they hide from hawks. Okay, this is an important part of the food chain that's in this area. And we talked about when you disrupt the food chain. And I've heard often that there are prairie dog hunts because people who raise cattle don't like the cattle can hurt themselves in the burrows. So sometimes they go hunting for prairie dogs. But we know that if we overhunt any one species, especially an herbivore that's prey for carnivores, then we can actually affect the food chain in a lot of bad ways. Here's a northern harrier hawk. And it's this kind of interesting thing that it's called a marsh hawk. It can be 2 feet tall, and that's kind of tall for a bird. They can fly 40 miles per hour. Okay, coyotes, we have those around here too. Between 20 and 50 pounds. It's kind of a skinny dog if you think about it. They eat rodents, rabbits. There you go. I think there's a question about the pronghorn antelope. It's the fastest animal in North America. Look at that. Pronghorn can run as fast as 60 miles per hour. So that's the fastest animal in North America. That sounds like it would be important. And I think that's it. One other thing that's important to look at is to look at the glossary. The glossary has words in there. And if you see a word you don't know, you need to look on the page where the glossary tells you so that you can find out what the word means or read the definition. Not everything back there has the definition. So if you don't know something, look in the back.